We've kind of been quite close to black tip reef sharks, so I thought they might be kind of just okay, but I think it's the way they're kind of circling round, which, you know, it's like they're waiting for something, and and it's not going to be me. In this episode, not only do we meet some friendly sharks, but we unfortunately go aground, and then we hit the ground running, preparing for our big trip to New Zealand.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho.
Right, so we had a lot of fun at Waiasewa Island, playing rugby all day and climbing the top of the hill, and you know, the music and the dancing in the evening. It was great to be part of that whole village life, and they were very welcoming as usual, and I would definitely like to go back there to see those amazing people, those villagers, the teachers, the kids, the guys that, you know, that look after the village, and all the ladies there. Just going over to this other island called Nedrava, which is not very far away at all. This is us just approaching it. I'm on the bow, making sure that we don't come across any unmarked coral reefs. Who wants to go for a swim? Oh, they look friendly. Yeah, we've been greeted by sharks this time.
Oh look, they're circling.
I think the hull clean might have to wait for another place. But just as we were dropping the anchor, we saw some shapes in the water. And occasionally we do see dolphins or the odd turtle, and so we just presumed that was it. And as the shapes got closer, this fin just kind of appeared out the water, and it wasn't just one shark. There was about 4 or 5, and they started circling the boat.
So this anchorage is beautiful, but it is so hot because there's no wind, and I really need to get in the water. And they had this sort of discussion about whether the sharks will get me in the water, but to be quite honest, well, first of all, I don't think they're kind of very big that they're going to do much. But secondly, I don't think they'll be here that quick either, really. So my theory is I jump in quick, cool off, jump straight out again. Everyone thinks it's so funny, so they've all got the cameras ready to video it. So let's see what happens.
I call it a small sacrifice for a big gain.
You still going in?
Do it!
No, they're actually a little bit too close for comfort. I thought if they were a bit further away, I'll get in and out quick, but they popped up just from around there. Right, I'm not doing the jump. I don't want to attract any attention. I'm just going to dip.
Right, it's coming up again.
Just tell me if the shark comes.
They're over there.
You be my lookout, Ewan, because I trust you more than the other two.
There's one over there.
Tell me if it gets too close, like within 5 meters. Who's on lookout for me?
I will.
Thanks.
Good one.
There's one right there, Mum. Get out.
That was nice. I feel cool now. It's good. I recommend it. We did eventually manage to get ashore, and we just enjoyed walking along the beach and in the shallows.
So now we're going to head further down to Musket Cove, which is kind of the gathering place of most yachties around here, because it's the only shop, but it's got Wi-Fi and a swimming pool as well.
We've got to be on the lookout here. One thing about Fiji is that you can't completely rely on the navionics charts. You have to keep a good lookout. So this is us just coming around Mololo Island. So we kind of entered the reef at the pass on the east side, being very cautious, and now we're just heading up to Kalita Island.
Just going to head straight through the middle there, straight ahead. What? Hold a steady, straight course. There's also mooring buoys as well, which makes for a very safe anchorage, set behind 2 reefs as well.
Musket Cove is one of those iconic places for a sailor, and if you've arrived by yacht, you can get a lifelong membership to the yacht club. We finally arrived in the infamous Musket Cove, which is where a lot of yachties end up. First thing obviously you have to do is turn up and do schooling. Nice kind of environment to do it in as well, apart from the noise down there. It's just a really lovely place to hang out.
We could have stayed here forever, but there was an island we still wanted to see, and this place had a very tricky entrance.
I can't really see a lot. I'm hoping that Dad can see it. It looks a real mix, but Donald's there. It's nice of him to lead me along. Donald on hey. I can't see what's on the right. Is it looking all right on both sides, Woody? What? Is it looking all right on both sides? So along the entrance you have to kind of wind your way between the sticks that mark the channel, but there isn't enough depth in all of the channel. So we managed to make it through without any depth that went less than 5 metres. So we anchored up and were able to head ashore before things started taking a turn for the worst.
So it's raining and we just hit some coral. Look, the coral's right there.
If you like following our story, please hit the super thanks and help towards the creation of these videos. And if you'd like to have more access, we would love it if you join our Patreon family, where you get ad-free videos, cockpit sessions, downloads, guides, and you can message us directly.
We just hit that, like we heard some dragging. We thought it was anchor, but it turns out it's the rudder like scraping against some coral.
Grinding. The wind's picked up, spun us round, and we started dragging, and the rudder hit a bummy. So we're having an emergency pickup.
Okay, it was a very strange sound. It sounded like thunder, but actually it was under the rudder, we think, unless it was the keel as well. But yeah, I'm not sure we're dragging anchor. I'm just checking actually.
There was a buoy. I saw
There was a big piece of coral.
You could have
You saw it?
walked on it.
Oh really?
You could have walked on it. I'm telling you, you could have. So what I'm worried about is the boat, and I'm also worried about the coral.
Yeah. We need to move actually, I think, maybe. Yeah, the other thing I'm worried about, I'm told Woody, is that the engine took ages to start. So I think the starter battery might have been almost flat. It's like not the time when you want the engine not to start, when you've got to move your boat because you're on coral. But I'm just wondering whether we need to re-anchor. Right, firstly, that engine took ages to start. Like it didn't start as quick as it didn't feel like it started as quick as it would start. It was just the battery seemed low. I'm just wondering, do we need to re-anchor? Because if we drag, we're right on coral, aren't we? Was it coral? Was there a lot of coral? All around us? Should we re-anchor then, further up?
Yeah, it's just there.
Okay. So should we re-anchor?
I'm just wondering whether we just get going now.
Well, yeah, do we want to be leaving in this condition though? No. I'd rather just move forward and re-anchor. Because we can't really see on that exit.
Just worried there's some damage to the rudder.
Oh, then we don't want to go anyway, he needs to check.
Well, let's drive around a bit, just check the rudder.
I turned the rudder back and forth so Woody could check underneath and see if there's any damage.
Did you check the keel?
Yeah, there's no damage, it's okay. As far as I can see anyway, the rudder turns okay, so I think we just scraped a little bit, scraped one of the bommies.
Yeah, I don't think we dragged. I think we haven't been on this direction. The wind's come up from, well, what direction is it coming from? It's coming from the south. It's a bit of a squall and it was quite strong wind, and I think that just made us just turn around to a position we hadn't been in.
One good thing that squalls bring is a lot of rain, so we were able to catch a lot of rainwater. And schooling carried on as normal.
What subject are you doing?
Nah. I'm doing maths as well. I'm nearly finished though because I'm getting it done really quick.
It was finally time to leave the Yasawa Islands and head to the mainland.
This is Vuda Point Marina, and we've just come to fuel up and just topped up with water, which is nice to have the tanks full again. Tank has pulled up, so they're just filling up their tanks, so then we can fill up our tanks. So it's going to be about half an hour. It's quite chilled out and laid back. I mean, we heard in some places that there was a wait of up to 4 hours, but we just came straight in here and straight onto the dock. So we're basically waiting for a weather window to go to New Zealand. It's a little trickier, this one, because it's kind of a two-part passage. There's two weather systems which you have to navigate. Difficult to work out what it is 7 days from now. So basically you've got to go on a good front and just kind of guess the second half. It can get quite nasty if a few things spin up from the Southern Ocean. So, but we've obviously got to get out before the cyclone season starts. So bumped into a lot of other people as well who are doing the same thing. Some people are getting a little bit nervous because it's getting a little bit further on in the season, and some people are quite relaxed about it. We've done it kind of several times before. So we kind of like stuck between the two really. We kind of want to get going, but obviously we don't want to rush it. Nothing good ever comes from rushing it. Today we're going to take the bus into Laotoka, which is the main town, and do some provisioning. The last few days we've been keeping an eye on the weather. We haven't seen any good weather windows yet, but we want to be ready to move really quickly when we do spot one. So we're at the place where you check out. We're going to get the bus a few miles to stock up. It's a really nice marina actually. I wish we'd discovered this place earlier. It's got a really nice bar, nice atmosphere, water, fuel, everything you want really.
The market in Lautoka is incredible. They have absolutely everything you could possibly want. They also sell kava, which you can offer to the islanders as gifts, and a few things that we didn't quite recognise.
It's like some kind of grouper or run or something like that. Look, they even like catching parrotfish and things. Actually catch like the reef fish and things. Like people have always told us not to catch any fish from the reef, but these people are actually catching them.
And the supermarket was pretty good too. Didn't take long to fill our trolley, especially with the help from the boys.
On the barbecue.
Oh, I hate the smell of just like rotting meat.
We still have to get all the shopping back to the boat and give it a good rinse before we stow it away.
Rinse it, boil it.
So the passage to New Zealand, we have been kind of waiting for a weather window, waiting, and the normal highs that seem to happen. Normally you leave at the end of a high and try and get in before or just after a low that's passing through near the north of New Zealand. But the traditional sort of, let's say, normal weather patterns seem to be working. So some people have been leaving over the last few weeks in various kind of weather windows, and there doesn't seem to be a good one, but there doesn't seem to be a good one in the coming up with the wind. So we're staying here longer now, waiting. Who knows when the next cyclone is going to come through. These are the kind of things that go through our head. So we have decided that we're going to go with a group of other boats as well. Just go tomorrow. There's not a lot of wind, it's very light winds, but I suppose our thoughts are, you know, rather sort of try and work it out with light winds, maybe a lot of motoring, than go when it's the wrong wind, because the main thing we don't want to get caught in is like 70 knot winds or anything, or even 50 knot winds, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen. There's Bob, who does his website, and he kind of guides people, and he sort of generally says, you know, this week's a good week to leave, so we're going with that, and we're going with the light winds that we can see really, and going to try and catch some wind. So it's going to be a long passage, but it will be an okay one probably, in terms of there won't be too much massive swell or wind. So what we're doing now is Vuda Point. You can check out of there, Vuda Point Marina, you can check out of there when you leave Fiji, and they charge $75 to organising all the immigration and customs, but they give you a free night's berthing. So we're going to go in there, just fill up with any water, last minute stuff, bit of a run around. We've cleaned the bottom of the hull this morning.
It's filming. So we're just giving this this hull and the keel one last clean.
And we've done all our provisioning yesterday, so we're pretty much really almost ready to go. So in the marina we go now for our last night in Fiji this season.
So the way the marina is designed is there's kind of basins, or like circular basins, and people park stern to or bows to, and then there are buoys in the middle which they tie up to. So everybody's in a kind of a circular basin. I'm not quite sure why that helps with hurricanes, but obviously it does. The people who've left the boats here have kind of got the boat cyclone ready, so that means that the yard kind of sort of digs a groove in the ground which slots the rudder and the keel in, and then they get strapped down by these big sort of ratchet straps, and that basically prepares it for any nasty cyclones that might come along. So I think the last one was a few years ago. It was Winston, I think it was, and it completely devastated the island. I guess the other take home from here is the type of boats that are around here. There's none of the kind of the pretty boats that you find around the Mediterranean. You know, these are all kind of like proven blue water cruisers, and half of them I don't even know what the makes are. You know, it looks like there's quite a few American makes, and maybe even a couple of custom builds like this aluminium one here, and quite a lot of Amels actually. It's a lovely marina really, and the yard's not that bad either. I mean, no yard's ever fantastic, but as far as yards go, it's one of the cleanest I've ever seen anyway, and it's very well organised as well. I suppose they have to be in the high winds.
Right, this is it. The decision is made, and we are leaving to New Zealand, which has been described as one of the most challenging passages anyone has ever done. I'm not sure that's exactly true, but, or let's say maybe the most challenging passage that a lot of people have done. But anyway, we are going, and it's light wind, so it looks good for the beginning, but it's not really that bit we're worried about, it's the end. But anyway, while we're here, we've got the one night in the marina, because that's part of the fee to check out in Vuda Marine, and when that happens, a lot of things start happening when you get into a marina. So the washing starts, the repairs start, the last minute repairs. Another issue that we've been having is we've got a couple of cracks along the tow rail. One
that we repaired before but that needs re-repairing, and another one that's appeared, and there seems to be massive amounts of water getting in there. Somehow it's probably running down the stanchion posts and it's getting inside, so we can't repair them properly now, but we need to do a quick repair. So I've got a small amount of marine silicate, and on those 2 bits I'm just going to put that in basically until we can do it properly when we get to New Zealand. So yeah, it's kind of like there's a metal bar in there, I think, which is causing this rusting. But yeah, that needs to come off, be ground out and properly repaired. But at the moment I'm just going to fill these cracks. But extractor fan is not working in the engine bay, so that's a job that Woody needs to do before we leave, because if we're going to be motoring a lot, we don't really, it's going to be hot in there and a lot of fumes. So he's hoping it's just a wire thing, a wire sort of issue. Okay, so it's time to start thinking about applying for our arrival in New Zealand, and as usual, it turns into quite an admin kind of nightmare. Lots of forms, boat registration documents, passports and everything else, and also you have to do all the exit paperwork for whatever country you're leaving from. So we're trying to prepare our exit from Fiji. I've got this whole folder now, which is a New Zealand folder. Everything's sort of on there ready to go now. So you've got, all the passports, the advance notice form, the picture of the boat, and boat insurance they need. They want a bill of sale. Yeah, that's the new requirements for anti-fouling. So they've got it quite good. Sort of pictures really helpful actually, what's acceptable and what's not. The visa can be applied online on an app. So that's getting into New Zealand. That's before you even set off on the journey.
Stay tuned for the next episode where we officially check out of Fiji and head south further into the Southern Hemisphere. Thank you for watching and enjoying these videos. So if you're the type of person that would like to thank us in return, then you can simply click on the Super Thanks button below, or otherwise you can support us on Patreon and get more than just 4 videos a month from as little as $3 a month. We look forward to seeing you there.